And we're
Right,
off.
and they're off. Got a fat stack of rupees in the uncle's or in the Link's house.
300 off the bat. Who knows if that'll kill the hula hand play.
I'm pretty much calling the hula hand play dead already with that.
And all forerunners doing the same opening up to the uncle.
We got both our top runners carrying the sign over. It's a good way to get the tree pull right away.
Oh, and bombs. That's a good tree pull.
Bombs and money.
Takeru also finding bombs inside.
Wow. This is the kind of stuff you want to start your seed off with. Bombs and money are very important early on. Sometimes bombs are the only way you can get through certain rooms. So
I honestly, at this point, would go do the full escape with bombs at this point, with 7 of them.
It's definitely an option. Doesn't look like anybody's opting for it.
No, not today. Couple of pieces of heart so far. A little bit of health on the way, maybe. Everybody also heading up, looks like, to the same forest play. Nobody's skipping that to go to the straight to the village or the other way from the south from Link's house to get other bombs there.
Yeah, pretty much no divergence yet. This is kind of the standard route, quote unquote. People definitely have their own variations, but was that another fat stack on the?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, looks like it. Wow. It's like all we've seen is money and bombs so far. And a couple pieces of heart.
A couple of heart containers, or heart pieces, rather.
Another piece of heart.
Almost to a full heart upgrade. Almost. Oh, and the hook shot.
Yeah, it's a hook shot.
That's fun for everyone.
Yeah, that's a great item to have early on. Hookshot is
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, hookshot, although it doesn't seem like a weapon for a lot of the time, it really is. It can take out a lot of small enemies that can be pretty annoying, like the mini Moldorms and stuff like that. So it's really useful to have early on. And then you can also get some speed boosts by hooking to certain things.
And like everything else being random in here, the stun prize is also random. So having the hook shot early, you can check and see what that stun prize is. If it's a fairy or a heart or a red rupee, you're really happy.
Right.
A heart container, but just some other junk in Blind's house so far.
Yeah, a few more bombs, so doubt anybody will be buying bombs in this, at least not early on.
Blue mail hiding in the back. That's good for defense. Always glad to see some early blue mail.
Magic powder.
Powder, that's a great safety to have. Also could be leading to an item.
This has turned out to be a really wealthy seed already. There's over 500 rupees.
If the hula hand play is dead, I would agree with you now.
Yep. Probably see some early Zora checks, I would imagine, from at least one of these runners. We'll see what they decide to do.
Just a bomb upgrade behind the bomb wall in the chicken house. And just the red rupee there in the back of the tavern.
So not much in town. Really just a bunch of money and heart pieces. You know, we got our hook shot, which is a nice one, but usually see something else at this point, so runners might have to get creative in certain areas.
It just means that the mini Moldorm cave is going to have 5 huge progression items, right?
Yeah, exactly. This kind of thing definitely sets up for like a really hype room somewhere.
And nothing good at the race game, just some more bomb upgrades, so saving and quitting out of there. WeityWords heading straight south to the dam area, it looks like. EmoSaru going to be hot on the heels.
It looks like they're all going to the dam. This is like the... There is no divergence so far, really at all, which is interesting.
It is really interesting watching everyone do the same thing. Usually at this point, someone has split off.
Yeah. WeityWords doing a neat trick there with the hook shot, where you can hook shot through that block, grab the chest, and then quickly move to the right, and you can actually move past, and then open the dam at the same time. It's a nice way to save yourself having to leave the room and come back in to get the second chest.
TakeruImpulse also pulling that trick off.
So mini Moldorm cave should be cake with that hook shot. Takes them all out, one hit. This cave can be pretty scary sometimes if you don't have the correct equipment.
I've seen many a runner die in the mini Moldorm cave.
Yep. Moon Pearl. And a bunch of junk.
Well, that changes things. Now with the Moon Pearl, do you do the fake flippers up to Zora at this point?
Yeah, Moon Pearl, it opens up the waterfall chest that you can sequence break. I mean, it doesn't open up in the logic, but you can sequence break to it if you have the Moon Pearl, so it's common for runners to sequence break to that area, check that waterfall, and then if you have the rupees, go check Zora. And runners do have the rupees, so I wouldn't be surprised if they choose that play.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the fake flippers play unless you have the Moon Pearl, since they added the new items into the waterfall.
Right, because then you have to go back at some point anyway. Okay, so EmoSaru is going to skip Ice Rod Cave. It's going to work out pretty well for him. There's just a heart container in there. It's our first real divergence.
Yeah, with Emo heading off to see the ledge. Is it the silver arrows?
I think it was. It looked like an AG right there.
Arrows.
Wow. That's a really interesting spot for them, because silver arrows not required, but they can save a lot of time, especially on the final Ganon fight. But that chest is kind of out of the way. It's not really easy to get to. It takes about a minute to get there, probably. So it'll be interesting to see if our runners, even though they know those silvers are there, they might skip it later on before even finishing the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Alright, so here's our waterfall. So you can kind of, with the fake flippers, oh, that was so close. So if you get hit there, when you're in the fake flipper state, it is a one-hit KO in this version, so WeityWords, but clutch dodge there.
Oh, with the heart refill falling back out of the waterwalk state.
Yeah, that's always annoying when that happens. But, you know, it's just a quick go back in, do it again, and then you're walking on water.
And we see red mail, the lamp, and some bombs at Hahasell's house from TakeruImpulse. So there's both mail upgrades here, 10 minutes in. Everybody will be happy to find those. Nobody likes taking a whole lot of damage.
Alright, let's see what Zora has. Piece of heart. Not worth 500 rupees, in my opinion.
Nope, it's just a representation of your own broken heart getting it.
Yep, yeah, that's it.
Takeru heading straight into Eastern Palace here. I like to head in there right after Sahasrara's house, treated like items 4 through 6.
Yeah, so we've had a map check at this point, right? Looks like Desert Palace is a pendant. The other two are crystals. Okay.
All right, so might not be able to finish Eastern here, but you know, you can all get the front items, so it's a good play to be here. And having the lamp that puts the big key chest in logic also.
Yeah, and having the hook shot's nice too. This TakeruImpulse is showing here.
Power glove.
Yeah, and there's a glove, so definitely a good play to go to Eastern here. Eastern's a little bit, it seems awkward because a lot of the time you end up double dipping it, but it's not so bad. It's really pretty short, and it's very often that you find something there early game.
And EmoSaru found out that Swamp Palace is the green pendant, so the mirror might not be required.
Interesting.
Now everybody else catching up towards the Eastern Palace after going up to Zoro or not.
Makes sense that all of our runners are doing this. They don't have a really good weapon that'll get them through the guards and escape. So it makes sense to check this to Eastern, because you don't need a weapon at all to check all these chests in Eastern Palace. Only the final chest really requires the bow, but you can use pots to attack enemies if you need to, and so it makes sense that all the runners are going here.
The Eastern Palace, you need, even in the room where you can have to quote unquote kill everything to set up the chest to spawn, you can just cheese it too with the speedrun strats.
Yep. Throw those
like
pots.
We'll see TakeruImpulse doing right now.
Make the hardest read on where those skeletons are going to appear.
But with the Eastern giving the gloves and Sahasrara's house having the lamp, that does put Death Mountain into logic, and the hook shot lets you get over to the right-hand side.
Yep. Looks like TakeruImpulse is going to check the top of escape. Pretty standard play once you find the glove to just check this. It's really quick. And
if there's a key,
3 chests.
The sewer dark chest too.
Yeah, with the lamp, I imagine he will do that. Oh, Titan's Midst. So not quite as early as you were hoping, Cliff, but still pretty darn early that we've got both lift upgrades.
Anytime you can get a 13.5-minute Titan's Midst, you're pretty happy.
Yeah. So that can be a really dodgy item sometimes, so it's nice to see. And that's Dark World access right there. They can take that town portal and get to Village of Outcasts if they desire.
You can also do Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, actually that's true. We've got the hook shot. We can check that whole dark side.
And WeityWords saving and putting out. Going to the Sanctuary. Let's see where they head to next. And there is still an item on the Armos Knights.
Good to know. And they are, required to finish that dungeon anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue for them.
the old man with the full hard container. While
Showing
WeityWords
some
gets
love for getting him through the dark.
happy to be out of that dark cave.
Yeah, so TakeruImpulse going straight to this east side Death Mountain. Ton of items over there, especially with that power glove. It's like, yeah, I think it's like 12 or 13 items just on this east side of Death Mountain, so it is loaded. And we'll see if it has anything big.
And WeityWords looks like they're going to make the same play also.
Yeah, pretty pretty similar routes from all four runners. It makes sense. It's just kind of how this has worked out. It's kind of pushing you in a linear direction. No sword, no hammer. It's kind of hard to make that play for Dark World, you know. Need something to defend yourself against those tough enemies.
EmoSaru changing her mind a little bit. Was looking like going to go to the village, but now going to head up to the mountain.
There's our first bottle. Some blue goo in it. But other than that, a bunch of junk in this cave. Ooh, Takeru just missing that bomb jump. It's a tricky one to set up.
Yeah, it is a little bit of setup required for that one. Just gonna go the long way now.
Yeah, not a big deal, really. Only about a 10-15 second difference if you get that bomb jump.
And now Hahasell also heading up to Death Mountain. We've got everybody heading up to that mountain. Oh, and a sword on the floating island.
Sword on the floating island. Interesting. Oh,
And
and
a
a hammer
hammer.
on Spectacle Rock. Wow. Just as I said, there was no hammer, no sword. We see both. And neither are accessible. But we know where they are. Yes, a hammer is mirror locked in a steed where Swamp Palace is a pendant dungeon. That's interesting.
So remember how I said that the mirror might not be required? I lied.
Yep.
Sorry. 100% mirror required today.
Yeah, so that mirror is probably going to be a game changer if it's in a weird spot, because hammer, pretty much the most important item in the game. It allows you to access to the most things, especially when it comes to dungeons. It's always required, so.
Now TakeruImpulse into the Dark World here. Gonna see what the Super Bunny Cave has for us.
So this seed is very friendly in that we've got a red mail upgrade really early on, and a nice early blue potion. So that's quite a bit of safety net for all of our players. I bet everybody's happy to see that. Ooh,
Definitely.
Flippers and Super Bunny Cave.
Flippers and hook shot, and we know the mirror is required. There's going to be something in Swamp Palace, isn't there?
There might be. Flippers doesn't open up too much for them. It does allow them access to the east Dark World, where Pod and the Pyramid are, through the north route. And that's really the only thing that's opened up, since they've pretty much checked all of those early on flipper locked chests through the sequence break.
Pretty much. The hookshot cave has the mirror.
Oh
Look
my
at that.
gosh. And there's the mirror. Okay, it's not as much as a game changer as I thought. I think pretty much all of our runners will grab that. But that gives them sword and hammer access right away. So that's... The seed just bursted wide open.
So Paw is the blue pendant I just saw. And Ice Palace is crystal 5 or 6,
Cool.
one of the red crystals. And at 20 minutes and 25 seconds, we have our first sword get from Takeru.
Not too bad.
Get to come right over here and get the hammer.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to go straight into Hera first. Oh, I guess...
I think TakeruImpulse actually didn't check it.
Yeah, it just went straight to the right side.
Right, so they don't know that the hammer's there. That's a little unfortunate because hammer does help you with this dungeon. It makes the Moldorm fight only a 3-hit as opposed to the 6 hits it takes with the fighter sword.
Yes, the NMG Moldorm fight is...
Yeah, it can be
not
trolly.
a lot of fun.
There are some safe-ish strats for it, but there's nothing that's 100% safe against Moldorm.
And WeityWords finding the mirror also. EmoSaru right on their heels. EmoSaru leaving the sword behind and then realizing, hey, wait, there's a sword over there.
I should probably go get that. Realized pretty early, so that's not bad. It's a good thing. Ooh, it looks like Bombos in Tower of Hera. I believe it was Ether Medallion required for Troll Rock.
It was Ether,
right.
so...
Okay. But that Bombos is actually a big deal. That allows them access now to full Ice Palace.
And half magic? Oh, wow.
Wow.
That... I know where I'm going next if I'm running this, and that's straight to Ice Palace.
Yeah, the safeties are real in this city. This is a friendly one. Yeah, Ice Palace is definitely not a bad idea at this point. I mean, you've got everything you need. You got Flippers, Hammer, Mirror, or not Mirror, Titansmith, Hookshot. But they've got other options as well. Whole Dark World's pretty much a large portion of Dark World is open to them now.
Yes, it is. Everything except the Mire area, pretty much.
Yeah. Takeru playing a nice, pretty safe strat here with Moldorm, where you just hold that sword out. Kind of defend yourself against his
and got
erratic ways. Yeah,
it's
nice
the key,
there.
but we'll have no need for using it.
No basement today. Unless one of our runners miscounts.
Oh, that would be awful.
I've done it. We've all done it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, we were just getting trolled by that.
Yeah, I got trolled by that little, I don't even know what to call it, ball.
Takeru now seeing the hammer. Gonna get that.
Yeah.
EmoSaru setting up the bomb jump here.
Nice. It's a risky bomb jump, so I appreciate that you went for that.
Yeah, it's the 2 floors if you fall.
Yeah. It takes a while to get back up there.
And without boots, it's a lot harder than it looks.
Oh yeah, with boots it's pretty easy. But without them, it's really only a couple pixels, I think, on the x-axis or y-axis. So yeah, we're gonna see Emo probably use the hammer against Moldorm.
Hahasell also setting up the bomb drop. And got it.
Nice. Good stuff.
And that's Moldorm down for both players on the screen fighting him. Now Takeru is doing all of the flipper things, having not used the fake flippers earlier.
Right. Didn't take it all the way out to Hobo here. And just 20 bucks. That's pretty much all the Hobo's got to his name, I imagine.
And you just go in there and take it from him.
Yep. It looks like he's handing it over willingly.
He was just trying to save up to put that down payment for a house. But, you know, saving Hyrule is more important.
I wonder if Takeru's going to go to Ice Palace here. No, looks like they're warping. I guess maybe Takeru hasn't checked all these. No, they haven't yet. But that's it's not bad for them because they got those flippers pretty early, and there's really not that much here, so it's fitting into their route quite well.
Could easily go right back to Ice if they wanted to.
Yeah. EmoSaru and WeightyWords basically synced here, both taking that portal just north of town. And we're seeing the Skullwoods play. Popular option.
Both of our runners here in the corners. I'm not as much of a fan of the play since V27. I feel like a lot of the value that was in Skullwoods has moved to Palace of Darkness.
Yeah. Every time I think
really
that, Skullwoods burns me, so I still think Skullwoods has quite a bit of value, but you never know.
It's just so quick to jump it in.
Yeah, exactly. It really doesn't take long. It's really just that last chest, the one that EmoSaru is checking right now, that's a little bit annoying to check. It's pretty easy to just want to skip it, just so you don't have to waste that time, but...
Not even going to bother with manipulating the Gibdos.
I like this.
Burn them all.
Yeah, those Gibdos can be really annoying. EmoSaru's like, I'm just not dealing with that. I'm just going to burn them all.
And Hahasell looking in Hype Cave. I didn't see everything there, but it didn't look like it was very much
I missed it.
Oh, Fire Rod. Okay, well, there's some hype.
Fire Rod and Hype Cave, wow. So that's actually pretty nice for Hahasell. They can, when they check Skullwoods, they have the option of just completing the dungeon fully and getting their crystal. That's a pretty nice advantage over our other runners who are checking it without the Fire Rod. They will have to double dip.
WeightyWords into the Village of Outcasts.
Looks like there's a shovel in Skullwoods somewhere. That fits into the route nicely when they start working down to the South Dark World.
Shovel will be on the way to the Fire Rod. Whereas, you know, getting the Fire Rod from Hahasell, then get the shovel and have to route that differently. Red Rupee in the bomb house. And a digging game. Digging all of the holes today. May finally find something. A bottle of blue goo.
Blue goo, more blue goo. More safeties for our runners. I have a feeling we'll not see many deaths.
And the sick kid just handing out 20 bucks also.
So WeightyWords making this Thieves Town play. First one to do that. They can fully complete that dungeon, so it's a totally viable option. Oh, can't hook shot to that one. That pot there has a bunny beam hidden under it, and I believe that bunny beam is why you can't hook shot to it. Somehow blocks the attachment.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
The sprite being under the sprite.
Spriteception.
But yeah, with 4 items here in Thieves Town, one of them being 50 rupees, it's a really good play at this point.
Yeah. It's pretty much on the way to the rest of the stuff out here too, so it's... Alright, so we're at the breadsmiths on the Hahasell screen. Let's see what... Oops, an accidental warp there.
That can sometimes happen.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna have anything. I'm not gonna have that happen again. I'm just gonna go all the way to the bottom of these steps.
I mean, that is kind of what you want to do in MG in vanilla, just not so much in the randomizer.
Yeah, and here it works out well too because you can do this. You can go into Batcave and check that because you've got the powder.
The hammer opens that up. You don't have to waste your Dark World portal.
Right.
And the bat curses us with war bomb capacity.
A bad item.
So now WeityWords coming in here to trigger the first step of summoning blind.
Let there be light.
A multi-stage process in this dungeon.
Not much value in Thieves Town so far, I believe.
The last 3 chests will all 3 be items at this point.
Oh, okay.
Or
gotcha.
the last 2 and the boss. We've only seen the 50 rupees. And a bunch of other dungeon items. We have 3 runners now into Thieves Town. And a 4th probably very close to that, if I had to guess.
Oh, fortunately on Weighty's words, he's got that red horse head shooting that fireball straight through the middle gate. It's like just about the worst thing that can happen to you, randomness-wise. He just does not stop shooting.
Can't do anything either way.
Yep. Sometimes I like to just hammer that guy. Just that option is just off the table. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it can be surely annoying. Oh, Cane of Burna.
The blue cane. That makes the blind fight a lot simpler, safer, I guess.
Yeah, they've got quite a bit of safeties. They've got 2 blue potions if they need them. They've got Cane of Burna, half magic, red mail.
That also unlocks Spike Cave in the logic. Yeah, they really do. So WeityWords into the blind fight now. Doesn't matter which sword you have, it always takes 3 hits to kill blind, so all 3 heads each take 3, so 9 hits total. And even though WeityWords didn't get there, it is also a completely scripted fight if you can do it correctly. I somehow never can.
It's tricky. Yeah, he's going to use the safety here.
No,
finish him off.
At all.
And a piece of heart. So nothing in Thieves Town. But none of our runners are mad about that. It really doesn't take much extra time to full clear Thieves Town to not full clear it. So it's always a good option early game.
You really just save the big chest realistically.
Yeah, and that's what, 20 seconds maybe. It's like
maybe. Now getting the sick kid check for WeightyWords. EmoSaru getting trolled a little bit, so she's just going to pull out the cane and let it do its work.
Cane and burn a very helpful item. Only biggest issue with it is that it could really lag the game because it just adds all these extra things on the screen. A lot of time runners will do what EmoSaru did is, you know, get a few hits with it in and then just take it down so they can have the least amount of lag possible.
Yeah, definitely. The lag can become an issue with the cane.
Yeah. On the Vitreous fight, it's like you're in molasses. It's hilarious.
I enjoy my game running at 18 FPS. It's the best.
Yeah. The runners, no big divergences yet. They're all, you know, pretty much doing the same stuff, just very shortly after each other, before each other.
Now the biggest divergence
for our first
Hahasell
big divergence.
The Hive Cave first, and then coming up to the village instead of coming into the village from
Yeah,
Woods.
It's true. That was probably the biggest one so far.
And that's relatively minor as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's just doing the same stuff backwards, really. It's not like going to Ice Palace or Pod or something.
Now Takeru into the blind fight also. Not even gonna mess with it, just straight to Kane strats.
Straight to Kane. Pretty effective way to get blind down.
And with half magic, you don't even really have any worries.
Yeah, it's not even a really concern. I like it. Yeah, it's actually really good. You can actually get him down before he even switches sides. So
yeah, that was a really nice fight.
Yeah.
So now we're getting the magic bat check, and EmoSaru is also going to be cursed. I'm sure she'll be meh about that. And that's blind down for our fourth runner. All four good fights.
Nicely done. EmoSaru working his way down to deliver the lunchbox. And they're going to check some stuff on the way. Got quite a bit of things just on the way there with this little ledge here, and then with the shovel they can check the dig spot right next to Stumpy.
Yeah, the shovel is right here on the way.
Yeah, so this is nice. Fits into the overworld routing nice and cleanly. It's really all you want from the overworld routing, because leaving behind one kind of awkward location can just burn you so hard sometimes.
It really, really can. Oh, hey!
Oh, Master Sword. The lightsaber.
But we can beat Ganon now.
Yep.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, and so Hahasell going into Skull Woods, and this is great for them because they can full clear this. So this route worked out really well for them. The only thing, it's kind of interesting actually, because the way Hahasell routed it, they're not going to get the Master Sword because the shovel's here in Skull Woods, but they will have the Fire Rod.
Is that Quake? You know. Quake from the lunchbox? Yeah, it was Quake.
Wow, nice. Got Quake and Bombos, but still do not have that ether that's required to finish Turtle Rock. So
So
2
now
medallions,
EmoSaru
not enough.
gonna hit Hype Cave here. I wouldn't be surprised to see her check to get the silver arrows right after this, being right next to it with the flippers and the mirror. And there's that fire rod.
Fuego.
And Takeru also getting the Master Sword here. While the jump from Master to Tempered is the biggest in the game, going from Fighter Sword to Master Sword is also a huge leap in power.
Yeah. Fighter Sword to Master Sword is, you know, basically you can complete the game. Whereas Tempered Sword, you can complete the game much faster.
Much faster. Yes, and there's those silvers for Emo.
Getting those silvers, yeah, well routed in there. Pretty, not too out of the way they had routed it, so I like that play. And going straight to Ice Palace. This is a nice
right on the way.
EmoSaru. I like this.
I really enjoy this play. Especially with picking up the fire rod, that makes it
worked out really nicely.
Fire rod and half magic, and you're much less scared of cold stare. Because even with having the hammer cold stare can really get off the rails really quickly.
Yeah, it's really tricky. A hug from cold stare is not enjoyable.
And Takeru's going to head into Swamp Palace here, playing on the green pendant.
Wow, interesting. Kind of a gamble, but I like it. 6 items. Very often value in there.
Yes, there can be. I hate having to do it just because of waiting for all the water. It's probably my least favorite dungeon.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. The worst is when you accidentally swing your sword at the skull guys when you push the water, and then it takes even longer.
Oh yeah,
it happens to me sometimes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah,
Swamp Palace. What have I
done? It's got a lot of items, but it is long, and there's the infamous left side of Swamp Palace, which only has 2 chests, which may or may not contain useful items, and it takes 2 to 2.5 minutes just to get those 2 chests. So a lot of players not a big fan of early Swamp Palace just because of how slow it can be. But
last time I was playing, I got an early big key, so I gambled and went left side and found the map and the compass, and
oh no.
It was the worst.
You don't see that too often. That's like the worst RNG.
Weeding out that first water. I guess second, having to wait the first one in the light world. Meanwhile, WeityWords also into Ice Palace. And Hahasell heading over to get the silvers also. But has completed Skull Woods, so is up a dungeon on everyone else.
Yeah. All the runners kind of in the same area, and I kind of feel like Ice Palace here is the standard play, and then Swamp is the gamble. And there's a Cane of Samaria in the gamble.
Gamble so, paying off for Takeru.
Yeah, looks like it's going to pay off at least a little bit. And they are going to check left side. They're opting for it. Going full Swamp Palace. No chests left behind. That cane's really nice. Yeah, I guess it doesn't open up Turtle Rock yet because Ether hasn't been found.
It doesn't open up the end of Mire because we still have a flute,
but it is a required item, so you know, it's good to have.
and it could take other people a while to get there.
Right, everybody's got to go in the swamp at some point. Nice small key there. Okay, go falling down the pit. Well, I guess I'm losing track where they are.
Yeah, I've lost track of how many items we found in Ice Mountain so far.
I don't think there's been any value really. So I think EmoSaru's on their last stretch here, just going to Cold Stare, yeah.
Four-way is just so much to cover sometimes.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming. This one's been nice though, because everybody's been kind of doing the same thing until now, really.
And a compass.
Compass. Oh gosh, please don't be the map.
not
okay.
Not the map. Whew.
Whew. It's not a super useful item, but at least it's
way
not
better than a map.
Yeah. EmoSaru opting for the bombos into Fire Rod, all of those eyeballs into Oblivion. I like that strat. It's very cool. The bombos takes a little bit longer to take out that initial chunk than the Fire Rod, but then taking out those eyeballs is really nice and easy with all the magic. So good choice.
The magic, just then the Fire Rod can rain death upon Cold Stare.
Let's see where EmoSaru goes next. Wouldn't be surprised to see them go straight to Swamp.
Yeah, there's really not too many places that they can go at this point.
No, everything else is just a little bit too weird. You could go into Pod without Bow, but that's just such a significant gamble. I imagine our runners won't do that.
Yeah, being able to finish Swamp, I would assume Swamp first and then Pod after this.
Right.
Huge progression-wise, and even with the cane, it's not huge progression at this point.
No, nothing's been too crazy. It's really no progression at all, actually. In both of these dungeons so far.
I suppose Skull Woods is still up there, but they know they found both items.
Yeah, both items are found, so it's just an arrow upgrade there. So although Pod is the significant gamble, it may be the one that holds the value here. It's starting to look more and more like that with the more we're seeing out of Swamp here.
Yeah, I feel like since the changes in the logic from 26 to 27, it puts so much more value into Pod.
It does come up often, doesn't it? Zombie Twitch, all the runners, yeah, just did all of Eastern. Armos does hold an item that was locked by the bow.
Oh, and WeityWords getting trolled a little by the Cold Stare off the beginning. Just barely missed the spin to put Cold Stare into the corner. But Fire Rod.
Oh, the bow!
Hey.
Wow. Bow at Argus.
So, Swamp Palace, the huge play.
Yeah, so if TakeruImpulse opts for Pod and Eastern here, I think they've got a pretty good advantage over the other runners.
Yes, definitely. At this point, you can go in and turn in that green pendant on the way, too.
Oh, yeah, this is nice. The Swamp Palace play was really good.
Oh, and silvers are on your way that way, too, to go with your bow?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
And WeightyWords is heading straight up towards the front half of the escape.
Yeah, we haven't seen this from any of our runners yet, huh?
No, we have not.
Yeah, they were all doing the same stuff in the beginning. I totally forgot about escape.
That's why I
Yeah.
want to do it as quickly as possible, because I will forget about it. It's especially that front half. And Hahasell also heading into Dark World here. Still
Looks like
hasn't made it
Takeru-
over to that shovel spot.
Oh yeah. So Takeru is going to get their silver arrows here. See if they... It is, I think, a little bit safer for them to go to Ice Palace the way their current situation, just because Pod is a pendant dungeon. So yeah, so it looks like they are going to do that.
Yeah, go ahead and hit
So
ice
kinda-
while you're here too.
Kind of evens everybody out here. Pretty much doing the same stuff. We'll see what WeightyWords finds on their way through the escape here.
One more item to be found here. And then since they found the map, I don't believe anyone made it into the sewer chest yet. So we might be seeing a mirror out and check that also.
Yeah, I think so.
You're right, because the back of escape was Mitts, Boomerang, and a upgrade. So yeah,
Looked like
there's
that was
still
just
an
a
item.
single arrow there behind the chain guard.
It was just the single arrow.
Nothing good. But still one more item. So we'll see what WeightyWords gets. But it's looking like the value may be in pottery. That's just kind of where the most unseen items are currently.
Yes, and I wouldn't put it past the Armos Knights to have something.
No, I would not either. Might even be prudent to check that before going into pod. Oh, the book. That's progression.
Yeah.
That opens up desert, which is a whole nother option now.
And two tablets, and we can check that pedestal to see just if we can, free the flag duck, the swag duck, and fly to victory.
Yep. Looks like WeightyWords probably gonna go to swamp here, but they do have that option for that Bombos tablet too. See if they do that after or before. Yeah, they're beelining straight for that Bombos tablet, so we'll see what's in there. That could be interesting.
And Checker, you're having a little bit of trouble setting up this bomb jump.
It's a toughie. Boy, is it important.
It really, really is.
And nothing at the Bombos tablet. Okay. WeightyWords looks like they're gonna maybe go to desert here and check Agnes Cave, which we haven't seen yet.
It's another one of those Sphere Zero locations that, hey, this has been here the whole time.
Yep. It's just so awkward. Nobody wants to check that unless it's in the route.
I
And
cleared
nothing.
as much of the pendant pot as I could the other day, as opposed to going and checking for the mitts in Agnes Cave.
Yeah, seriously.
Now both of our runners on the top here are about to be heading into the Argus fight.
I didn't see. Did they skip the left side? I believe they did, just based on the timing, but I'm not sure.
I'm on honestly not 100% sure. I know Emo still has I don't know. I was trying to count hearts, but I honestly lost track.
So WeightyWords going into desert. It's a little bit of a gamble. It is a pendant dungeon. It's not so, you know. And they don't have boots, so there's a good chance that they'll only have access to maybe one item if they're lucky. It's all dependent on this first chest. This will tell us everything we need to know. And it's a big key, so could still be value.
We're getting a menu % Argus up here from Hahasell.
Oh yeah, because they haven't checked their shovel spot yet, huh? Yeah, so that's an unfortunate. It does take quite a bit of time to have the menu over and over just to get those puff balls down. Oh.
And that was the flute in desert on the ledge, on the torch.
Flute on the ledge? No way. So boots required.
Yeah, we said the mirror might not be required, boots might not be required, whatever. We need all of those things. And the boots could be on the pedestal, as is noted, because it's not required to finish the dungeon.
We were just leaving. Makes sense. All it's there is that flute. Got their 2 items. That's all they need out of there, unless the pedestal dream is alive, which I don't. I think it can be. Yeah, we could have an ice rod on pedestal. We could have boots on pedestal. That dream's definitely alive, but WeightyWords not investing in that.
And that also means that the book is definitely required to get into desert to get the flute. So,
you're right. So that escape, that front of escape is, or that one, I guess it's the sewer chest. It's a required check.
Required items all over the place, except in crystal dungeons.
Yeah, and it looks like EmoSaru and Hahasell, I imagine they will probably route this in. We'll see. Oh no. Looks like EmoSaru is actually leaving.
The red boomerang they're leaving
Yeah,
behind?
I believe it was the lag meringue there.
What about your 100% strats? Come on, guys.
Yeah, so here's Hahasell's gonna actually check this, and this is a pretty good play by them. Fits into the route nicely, and they're gonna get their book, which is just a required item, as we just learned.
Yes. This will be a very good play.
Yeah, EmoSaru, unfortunately, is gonna have to come back later.
I don't doubt she'll be back there. Gonna see the green pendant here first.
Alright, what you got, Shakalaka? In your back pocket. Some bombs.
He just wants to help you blow up the wall behind him there.
Yeah, check this out, dude.
Now WeightyWords back into Skullwoods with the fire rod. Gonna go ahead and finish.
Yeah, and this works out nicely for them because they've got that book, so they can finish the dungeon and then they can do a quick pedestal check. And we'll see very shortly, I'm sure, that dream's alive.
And we have TakeruImpulse heading into the cold stair fight.
Yeah, quickly thinks, oh yeah, fire rod.
Wait a minute here.
Oh, nice splash damage. That's always cool to get.
And that's an easy cold stare. And meanwhile, WeightyWords is fighting Mothula on the other side. Mothula fight can be a little tricky with the moving platform and all of the spikes. The longer it goes on, the more spikes start moving and the faster they go.
It's a mess. It's just a mess.
You know, sometimes
It's
you hit
loaded with
Mothula,
RNG,
you
loaded with
don't
trolley
hit
spikes.
him. Like, oh yeah, Mothula accidentally hit this spike here, so ha.
Doesn't count. It's like when you're playing imaginary games with your friends and you're a kid.
And Hahasell also here about to get the book.
All right, drum roll chat. We are gonna see if your favorite location has an item.
Get ready.
A rupee horde. Fat stacks. Imagine none of our runners will be getting that.
Nope. Same as on the lumberjacks. No need to go out of your way for all the money. Not today.
This pedestal officially dead. So.
But that doesn't mean that all of the pension dungeons aren't required in some ways. We might still find progression in pod.
Yeah, we already know that desert and swamp are both required to enter at least once.
Swamp, you have to beat the bot. Like, you have to finish swamp.
Yeah, that's true. You have the full queer swamp.
And it looks like that might be where WeightyWords is heading right now. And that's another disappointment with the green pendant. Here's your bombs. Now picking up Kiki and 2 more people heading straight into pod. 3 runners in pod, 1 going to be in swamp.
I haven't seen much in pod so far.
Lots of keys. We saw a piece of heart, and now that 20 rupees. Nothing great. More rupees.
How many do we need?
Can you ever have enough? Probably.
Probably.
Somewhere around, but 800 is what you need to finish the game with.
Yeah, it's something like that. And our runners have done pretty much everything that they need to spend rupees on, unless they want to buy a ton of bottles, or potions rather.
I know what you meant.
There's our big key.
Oh, hey.
Oh, there's the ether. Wow.
Required items everywhere. Which
Not an item they want to see, honestly. That just
that
it makes the whole
the boots are on Laser Bridge, right?
Yeah, exactly. And with no ice rod, going into Turtle Rock is a hard play. It's not something our runners want to do. So we'll see what they do. You know, it's kind of the gamble at this point. Are you going to search for ice rod in other locations, or are you just going to gamble and just go to Turtle Rock and get whatever you think's there?
And it looks like that's all the items in pod, with Emo leaving out. She's heading straight into the Eastern. Which would put the map on Helmasaur King, I think?
I believe so. EmoSaru soon going to see if the Armos Knights holds any value. We know there's 1 item left there. All of our runners have completed the dungeon up to this point.
Yep. The only thing left for anybody is the Armos Knights. And WeightyWords is going to head to the left side of Swamp, check those chests, find the heart container.
Yeah, just to confirm with the chat, we do not know that the boots are going to be on Laser Bridge. Just a guess on our part. Possibility that our runners are surely considering.
Yeah, just with the items you have that opens up Turtle Rock now. That's just how version 27 is.
Yeah.
Where's the last
Something
place you
we've
want it
seen
to
a
be?
lot.
It's there.
All right, Armos Knights, what you got? What you got? Just the shield.
Just a dinner plate for EmoSaru.
Dinner plate.
But also a crystal, which is slightly more important. And it's a red crystal, which unlocks the super bomb.
Oh yeah, have we had both of those red crystals at this point?
With
I can't
ice
remember where
and
the other one was.
ice and Eastern.
Ice and Eastern, cool. So that's another option. It's a little bit awkward
Hard.
because everybody's kind of routed in that whole pyramid already, but could hold value.
And it might remind her to mirror out and check the escape and get the book.
I think EmoSaru is working their way towards that. I think they may be routing in a Fat Fairy into escape play.
And there is
should be very good
for Hahasell.
Yeah, this is nice.
Question in chat from Ghetto Ted. If the uncle gives the shield and sword, where does the second item go in the randomizer? I'm not 100% sure, but I think they would take out maybe an arrow or a bomb drop for it somewhere in the open mode logic and just randomize it in place of one of those trash items. All right, we're going to see what the Pyramid Fairy holds for us. Meanwhile, two runners heading back towards Armos. Oh, it's just trash.
Bunch of nothing.
One WeityWords will be into the Argus fight here momentarily.
Oh no, EmoSaru's still not going into escape.
Go back.
Really not feeling that. Oh.
Oh, just...
Oh no, I thought they were going back for a second. It's too bad. Looks like they're going to go for a catfish play. Or either that or they're going to hook shot across here. Check some other... Yeah, so catfish, looks like.
Catfish is a good play here, I suppose. It's really hard to route catfish in any situation.
It's never convenient. And it's such a trek to get there.
Yes, and having Fate flippered up to Zora, there's just only the one item. Nice, easy Armos for Takeru with the silver arrows.
Yeah.
Same here with Hahasell.
Pretty free. Just one peach. Looks like WeityWords is about to get their bow after a couple more sword spins. Oh, just a piece of heart.
And there's the bow. We'll be very happy to see that.
Yep. Yeah, WeityWords on a pretty good track here. They've got their book. They know where the flute is, so they know the boots are required. And they just got their bow, so, you know.
Really
so
only have one more option in pod to head to at this point.
Yeah.
They know the pedestal's a bust also, having gone and checked that.
Right. They've kind of... WeityWords probably has the most information, at least, of any of our runners. Alright, let's see what this graveyard ledge has.
You having to skip the King's Tomb without the boots, you can't get there.
Nothing. Oh yeah, this is looking more and more like Turtle Rock every every minute. I
Every
can't even.
step they go, it looks like, okay, one
Yep.
step closer to the rock.
And I don't blame them for doing what they're doing, which is just checking everything else first, because if that ice rod is in one of those awkward chests, then that could be devastating. So
Oh, most definitely. The ice rod could be literally anywhere on the map except for Ganon's Tower or Trinex.
nothing in Bumper Cave. So I think EmoSaru is probably going to finish Skullwoods here.
Yeah, might as well. You're right there next door. Can finish it, get your crystal, be done with it. Never have to come back up into these woods again, hopefully. Unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong.
Oh, that's a good point, Bad Moogle. I forgot about that item. There is the we haven't seen the Ether Tablet yet. It's kind of, I think that's basically the last item before Turtle Rock that we haven't seen.
Oh, that is a thing.
And Spike Cave. We haven't seen Spike Cave.
And Hahasell is now, looks like they're heading straight over towards the Turtle Rock play.
Might see
we might see Ether
two
first.
items first, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Ether Tablet to Spike Cave first, and then...
Yeah, with having to get Ether, then Spike Cave basically routes itself right there. Spike Cave would be just a really troll place for the boots at this point.
Well, Hahasell might not have the book.
They do. I saw it in the menu.
They did. Okay, cool.
Oh, I see. Our tracker doesn't have it.
Yeah, sweet. And you saw burning down Mothula, unfortunately hitting the spikes a couple times. It's such a trolly boss. Shoot, I missed what was on the Ether Tablet.
It was more trash.
More trash, okay. Hahasell not opting for Spike Cave, just going straight over to Turtle Rock. I mean, at this point, that's the percentage play.
Yeah, definitely can save some magic if you're worried about running out of magic before you can ether your way inside.
Weighty has not missed Ether yet. Ether is in Palace of Darkness, which is the dungeon that they're exploring now, so they will eventually find it. It is one of the last chests that people typically check. It is the big key chest in Pod, but...
And with the big key where it's at, there's no reason to hammer Yump over there. So it will probably be the last chest we see.
Yeah.
WeityWords check. Now Takeru is into Skullwoods also. And EmoSaru is heading over to the dig game. She forgot to do that earlier.
Yeah, barring an important item in Spike Cave, I think Hahasell's in a pretty advantageous state compared to the other three runners, just because it is looking like Turtle Rock is going to have some value, but who knows? It could be that Spike Cave.
Gone into desert yet?
No, they haven't.
See a desert play, so they don't know.
Okay, we haven't seen a desert play, but they don't know for sure that boots are required. But it shouldn't be a big, it shouldn't be a problem if they find boots. I think they'll logically route that in pretty quickly after. So
it would make sense.
Yeah. So it's not a huge disadvantage to not know that flute is on that torch, because you will head there eventually.
And it looks like EmoSaru is she's going to be heading over to Turtle Rock also. She's not even bothering with the ether tablet because she doesn't have the book. So no need to be able to check in tablets when you can't even read. Oh, the dead rocks.
Dead rocked. Nobody likes to see that. Worst enemy in the game.
And Mothula is fighting Takeru here. More trolley spikes and stuff.
Yeah, and just for you new players out there, the reason the Mothula fight is so infamous is because those spikes on the edge, if you hit Mothula in spikes with any of your weapons, it actually cancels out the damage that your weapon did to Mothula, so it effectively does 0 damage. So it's like this fight of like hoping that Mothula lines up in a place where you won't hit them into that spikes. And so it's really tricky, and the spikes are constantly flying from the wall, so it's one of the more despised fights.
By that same token, the tempered sword spins or gold sword spins will not damage Mothula either, because the tier 4 damage is what it's immune to.
That's what it is, yeah.
And that's what they do. Normally, the gold sword wouldn't damage Mothula at all, but the rando devs have made the gold sword do tempered sword damage in that singular room.
Thank goodness. Can you imagine if you have to opt for hammer just because you got less hit?
Oh, that would be...
that would actually be kind of interesting. But I think it's good that that's not the case.
Alright, so we've seen 2 items so far in Turtle Rock with the fire shield and a red rupee. And there is ether for WeityWords.
So I imagine they'll just head straight up to the mountain. I don't think they have any other options left.
No, this is it for them.
Oh, no. Maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe they're going to double-chested fairy instead.
Ah, I could see that. You don't want to. You don't want to climb the mountain. Whoa, hey! What are those?
Wow, Mimic Cave. I haven't seen Mimic Cave hold value in a minute. I always joke that that's a dead location. So that's huge.
Today, there's the boots, which
also we know are a big advantage to those boots now.
100% required.
So now the question is, where is the ice rod?
Is it in Mire? Are we gonna have to?
It's not. Yeah. So Hahasell is opting to check the rest of these chests, but they are going to be locked because they can't kill Trinex without the ice rod, and so
unless the ice rod is on Laser Bridge,
right?
Then,
and so that's the play here is like, well, the gamble is you leave and you look for it somewhere else. But
at this point, there's no way I would have to.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we'll see that from any of our.
And since he doesn't know about the flute being in desert, then definitely got.
That's true. Only WeityWords will have that knowledge, so it makes. It's just a silly gamble. All right. Well, let's see what the laser bridge has. There's our last small key. Nice walk in here, not getting damaged by the lasers.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
there you go. So, Hahasell is effectively in go mode, but they don't know it yet.
All they have to do is get over to desert, get that flute.
Yep. But they're good. But they're gonna check a lot of. Yeah, they could check quite a few items before that.
They could. There's lots of places still, really. And here comes EmoSaru, about to get boots also.
I wouldn't call it no mode because they don't know. More, I don't know mode.
Well, we know.
We know, but they don't know. Alright, EmoSaru getting their boots. Also an I don't know mode.
Third base? Alright, Emo's gonna head in. Just get that 20 rupees off the big chest. And Hahasell is going to head into Trinex. Master Sword Trinex is not the most fun of fights, but with the hammer and half magic, it makes it a lot easier.
Often for Master Sword strats, a little bit safer than the hammer.
With the half magic.
Yeah, and with the half magic, not a big deal. You can keep just shooting those faces with the rod, and it still have tons of magic left over. Plus, they've still got their blue potions.
Yes.
At least one of them each, I believe.
And WeityWords gonna check the catfish here and get disappointed. Not even gonna pick it up, just later.
Chat asking who's in the lead, and I would have to say Hahasell is definitely in the lead of these four runners right now.
Definitely.
EmoSaru, unfortunately, doesn't have their book yet because they've put off escapes, so they're gonna have to go get that at some point. Whereas Hahasell has that advantage. And honestly, there's not many locations left. I'm pretty sure they'll head straight to desert after this. Maybe they'll check the 2 bonk items in North Light World first, but that really doesn't take much time.
Yeah, I would see the bonk items and then the escape from EmoSaru. There's not much else she can do until she gets that book. Same going to be for Takeru after he gets done in here.
Right. Takeru also has not received the book yet. So that might... Yeah. Let's see.
I could actually see the first thing Emo doing when she leaves here is go over and check Ether Tablet and Spike Cave. Since she went straight for the dungeon. The book is in the sewer chest in Escape. In the dark, all alone.
And Hahasell doing just what we were saying, checking those bonk locations, and then they'll go to desert right after, so it'll... Pretty good advantage there. WeityWords, unfortunately, is kind of getting pushed back by making honestly a prudent decision, just checking all of these overworld locations for the ice rod before heading into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's a good play. It's just
it's just not paying off in this particular scenario. Ice rod in Turtle Rock is pretty trolly.
Was that a triple spin from Emo there on Trinex?
Triple?
It sounded like the thing hit 3 times. I didn't think so. Either way, Trinex is down.
I'm not sure where Hahasell's going. I guess they have a few more overworld locations they haven't checked.
Check the Graveyard Ledge, maybe?
Yeah, maybe we're checking Bumper Cave and Graveyard Ledge. Or just Graveyard Ledge.
And with Trinex down, Emo is heading over, not immediately saving and quitting.
Gonna check that tab, or the Spike Cave. It's the only option they have.
And just straight to Spike Cave. Oh, again, doesn't have the book, so can't check the tablet. Dumb. Sorry. I mean, I could see Hahasell at this point not wanting to go over to desert with... Okay, there was 2 progression items in one progression item in the other. There's no way there's another progression item in the third pendant dungeon, right?
There's always that illogical thinking, and all of us are like, oh, come on, that's not possible, right? All 3 pendant dungeons, really? But that is the case here. And it looks like Hahasell has more overworld checks than I thought they had, so... Might give WeightyWords a chance to catch up, and WeightyWords has the advantage of once they see that ice rod, they're gonna just go mode the rest of this, the rest of the game. So, because they have the knowledge of where the flute is.
As soon as they get that ice rod, they will be in go mode. Since they know they're in desert, just a quick flute, a quick save and quit away. Quick flute away to go get the flute, you know.
TakeruImpulse getting their ice rod.
All right, now EmoSaru saving and quitting to the house, heading to the castle.
So they're on the right track. Looks like Hahasell's on the right track as well. Gonna check this tablet here, but then probably just gonna go straight to desert right after that. Maybe check Agonist Cave first, but...
And she is going straight back to the sewer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually a pretty quick, that'll be a pretty quick book for them.
Yes, definitely. Now let's see if they do the rest of the escape or just leave. Nope, she's gonna keep going.
Yeah, that's the smart play. I mean, it's really not that long, and there's 3 chests here, so 2 items at this point.
And Takeru into the Trinex fight has the first head down. Oh no! Taking a hit from the head. Oh, but has a fairy.
Nice.
Clutch fairy. And here, Hahasell is heading into desert. Will very shortly be getting a flute.
This will be official go mode.
And there's the second head down in the Trinex fight. And there it is. There's the flute for Hahasell.
Go mode.
At 128.49. First runner on our stream here to be in go mode.
And just because they're in go mode now doesn't mean that there's not still some variation to be had here. Misery Mire, kind of an interesting dungeon in that the big key location really affects, the way you route it and where the big key location can have a big effect on how long it takes you to complete the dungeon, even in go mode. It's not like Swamp Palace where if you're in go mode, you do it the same way every single time.
Yeah, right. Or ice. Misery Mire, you gotta find that big key. It could be lots of places.
And there's multiple ways you can route Misery Mire, and so it's just about kind of taking a guess and hoping the one you pick is correct.
And EmoSaru going to check Bombos before desert. And with all 3 medallions, nobody was worried about what Meyer is, but it is Bombos.
Unfortunately, no bird toss, no tossing the bird into the water.
And a nice Meyer 2 room. That room can really troll people with the popos and the whiz robes jumping around everywhere.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's really that Beambos that gets most runners, I think. Hits you at the most inconvenient time.
Yeah, just there watching out for all his buddies in there. And now EmoSaru heading into Desert Palace will very shortly be in go mode also. WeityWords realizing there's still...
Yeah, WeityWords kind of thinking like... I think they know they've got it. They're just kind of thinking about whether they want to look for more helpful items like a tempered sword.
Yeah, when you're right there on the laser bridge, you might as well check.
Like, yeah, why the heck not? Oh, but unfortunately, map and compass.
Yes, unfortunately, we saw the item on Trinex. And that is go mode for EmoSaru.
2 of our runners now.
And Takeru heading through the escape now also.
Well, looks like Hahasell found the big key.
Oh, yes.
I didn't see where it was, but it must have been one of the pretty early ones.
Had to be very quick, probably.
Yeah, I think it might have been the one with...
Godmire.
I think it might have been the one on the spikes. I'm not sure, though. There's your link to the past national anthem for everybody. Pretty late in the run, with the flute being the go mode item.
It's not often you see a go mode flute.
No. Here's our first Vitreous fight. Vitreous, with the silver arrows, super free. Just shoot down all those eyeballs, they all take 1. And then the final big eye only takes 2.
It's not even really fair.
Yeah. And it can be such a tough fight without silver arrows, so... I think all the runners will be happy that they invested the small amount of time to get those silver arrows.
Oh, definitely. They help so much in so many different ways.
Yep.
Especially with only Master Sword. The difference between Master Sword Silverless and Master Sword Silver's Ganon is just night and day. 4 more extra spins as opposed to 24 at the end.
Alright, so it's that time, everybody. As Hahasell makes their way up to Ganon's tower. How many chests will they check? Where they find that big kahuna that'll get them to Ganon? What do you think, Clifford? What's your number?
The Bob chest. Always the Bob chest.
Bob's chest. I always just say 6, so I'm going to say 6.
All right, now get your guesses in since I
Yeah.
forgot to start
Looks
this.
like that big key was on the spike chest there in Meyer. So pretty nice. Don't have to worry about it. That's as easy as it gets, pretty much, other than that one on the bridge.
Oh, you're right. You got me. I'm so sorry. All right, now WeightyWords is into Desert Palace. And that will be go mode for WeightyWords right now.
Awesome. 3 of the 4 runners in go mode with TakeruImpulse. Very close.
Yes, over in the desert area.
Say less than a minute before they get their go mode. 1 is the small key. 2. A heart container. Looks like they're going to opt for right side here. Pretty common play when you get that small key right away like that.
I like to go right side if you are early because it doesn't take that long if you can get this room down.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. And it's just a quick 4 chests, you know.
And there we go. There is a bunch of slashes.
Yeah, TakeruImpulse not happy with that.
And go mode for TakeruImpulse.
Pretty trolly route to get to that flute there. 3, 4, 5, 6. All junk.
No big keys on that side.
And Hahasell opting to get that key and mirror out and go left side. This is one of my favorite routes through Ganon's tower.
And
oh, tempered sword. Rip Bob.
Well,
take that 10 out of 10 times.
Yes, the tempered sword, the biggest upgrade in weaponry in the game.
Unless you're Bob's biggest fan, you're getting that tempered sword.
Oh, in the cape now they can go check Bumper Cave.
Chest 9, 10. It's the shroom.
We get fetch quests in Ganon's tower. You think they're gonna go check them out? Probably not.
I'd say it has a -5 chance.
And now EmoSaru heading into Ganon's tower also. And see, Hahasell, having not got the red boomerang, has used the Canis Maria here. Can't do those awesome 100% strats. Oh well. It happens.
Alright, so I believe we're coming up on chest number 13 here for Hahasell. It is a piece of heart.
So now we'll get to the randomizer room, which is called that because there's no time anybody ever goes in there in any other kind of speed run.
Or even like a vanilla or a casual run. I don't even know if there's anything useful in. Maybe
I'm
some
pretty
bombs
sure
or
it's
something.
just a bunch of junk.
Yeah. 14, 15, riot shield, 16, butter, 17.
Upgrades there. Right next to each other, a sword and shield. Hey. So now we're moving on to Bob's chest and then the Armos Knights and then then all that's left after that might be tile room. And it looks like we have our first finisher with a time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 31 seconds. Evanitis has finished the race.
Congrats. Pretty good time.
It is a pretty great.
Not Bob's chest.
So into the Armos fight. Silver arrows will make this a lot easier than normal also.
Oh wow, and TGH, the second place finish, the 1 hour 40 minutes and 48 seconds, just behind Evanitis. Really close race between the two.
Yeah, 17-second difference. That's a very close race. And there's the big key.
There it is, chest 20. If you guess 20, you win. Kudos from me. Congrats.
Emo messing up just a little bit with the boomerang, having to switch to the Cane of Samaria. And now WeityWords climbing the mountain to head back towards the tower also, while Takeru is about to go into the Vitreous fight. Not a whole lot of time separating all four of our runners here.
Yeah, pretty close between the four of them.
And now Emo going to get the sword and shield upgrade. And nice silver arrow strats there from Takeru. Easy Vitreous fight.
Hahasell swiftly making their way through the gauntlet here.
Yeah, nice gauntlet so far. Getting a little bit of trolled by these horse heads, but
Yeah, that's my least favorite room of the 5.
I don't like the second room with all the skeletons. It is my least favorite. Although I really hate the first fire room further up the tower. It's my least favorite.
Yeah.
room in the whole. And getting a little bit trolled by the land molas there, but nice 2 cycle with the silver arrows. That's not hard to, or not easy to do, rather.
TakeruImpulse grabbing some potions before they make their way up to Ganon's tower. No shame in that. It really only takes a tiny bit of time to get it, and it can really, get you out of a messy situation.
Oh yes, and with the flute, it's so fast to just flute to 2 and get your potions, and hey, then you're back on your way.
Third place, we have Solski, 1 hour 43 minutes 56 seconds. Fourth place, Salty Fry with 1 hour 44 minutes 18 seconds. Good stuff to those runners.
Yes, GG's. Evanitis got first, tall white ninja.
No reason to check those last chests there. They've got everything they need. They got Butter Sword, Math Magic, Silver Arrows.
Yeah,
beelining straight for the big pig.
Should be no reason to check anything else here. Just get to the fight. WeityWords getting the fetch quests. And no trouble from the troll dorm there. And just straight on out here to the next room.
5th place, we have Faraimi. The time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 6 seconds. Ventizi, 6th place, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 47 seconds. Alright, here's Aga 2. Let's see what kind of RNG we get here. Kind of a weird one there. I'm not sure how I would have set that one up either.
Yeah,
and then this is a
couple
bad
of
one
little
here.
Awkward Aga patterns.
Yeah, these aren't nice. They're kind of like almost nice. This one's not too bad.
That's 3 hits so far.
Oh, another bad pattern, really.
Now it's getting off cycles.
Yeah, and then they get all desynced.
Hey! That's a nice way to finish it off.
It almost looked like the Shadow Aghanim shot the true Aghanim.
And that will take us into the Ganon fight for Hahasell.
Yeah, I'm with Gold Sword. Should be pretty easy. First cycle, you can just ram him down before he even teleports. Seventh place, Mr. Barry Bonds, 1 hour 46 minutes 50 seconds. And F. Coughlin, 8th place with the 1 hour 47 minutes 4 seconds. Also opting for the cape here. See why not? Got half magic. Nice safe way to just guarantee that you get through the second cycle with ease.
It really trivializes the first 2 phases again.
Yeah.
Not having to worry about taking damage.
Well-equipped Link is a pretty bad matchup for Ganon.
And EmoSaru taking a fall after taking down Trolldor? Oh no!
Oh, the fall.
That's a fall.
Yeah, I hate to see that.
You never ever want to see anybody fall again, and that's the worst.
It's happened to all of us. And, you know, it's just sometimes Ganon teleports to the wrong place, and then he just knocks you right off.
And we have a 9th place finisher. Unfit has finished in 9th with a 147.47.
But as far as Ganon falls go, when you have a well-equipped Link, like our runners do, it's not so bad because it doesn't take too long to get back to this 3rd phase.
Oh.
Definitely less of a time loss than if you had to fight Ganon with a Master Sword and no Silver Arrows or something.
It just tilts you more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh man, I had everything. But yeah, Ganon control everybody. He's a tricky pig.
Oh yes, I've seen those fire bats just wreck people sometimes.
Yeah, I swear he like reads you with them sometimes. And like, TakeruImpulse starting to make their way up the final ascent.
Yes, and we have Weighty into the next room of the gauntlet here. The double Beamos, easy peasy.
Nice double.
And that is GG for Hahasell.
Good stuff to Hahasell. Official SRL time. 1 hour, 49 minutes, 58 seconds. 10th place. Good stuff. Spam your GGs in chat. Hahasell did a great job. EmoSaru just right behind him, really. About to finish off Ganon here. It's like one more arrow shot, I believe.
And that is GG for EmoSaru. Finishing with an official time of 1:50:44.
11th place. Yeah, 10th and 11th place.
All right. And
12th
now,
place, Monochi, within 1 hour, 51 minutes, 9 seconds. 13th place, Neolium with the 1:51:38.
we're going to try and see if we can get either of these players in for an interview really quickly.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Until then, we have WeityWords heading into the Moldorm 2 fight, and Takeru heading up into the Wizard rooms.
Taking an immediate fall. I mean, if you're gonna fall to Moldorm, that's how you want to do it, right away.
Just getting immediately rejected off the platform.
I would say that was a near optimal Moldorm fall.
Hey, hello, GG.
Hey, thank you. That fall to Moldorm 2, I wasn't sure whether to laugh or cry, but
I feel like that's how a lot of us feel when we fall to Moldorm.
I was pre-typing .done, and when I picked up the controller again, I nudged the down button.
Oh.
So yeah,
Darn.
it was unfortunate.
But yeah, GG.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think any of the other featured runners have finished yet, right? Or maybe
No,
if they have, they're just finishing.
You were second on the featured list.
Oh, okay. Hahasell.
Yeah,
with
Hahasell was
okay.
also featured.
Nice.
By the way, GG to you. Hahasell's also in here with us.
Yep.
Oh, okay, welcome.
Hello and GG.
GG's. GG, EmoSaru.
Yeah, thank you. GG to you too.
Thanks.
What'd you both think of the seed?
I mean, it was fine, honestly. Like, I wish I had, I wish that so I keep getting baited lately by Zora area, because it just seems so convenient to check at a certain point, and it's always a waste. But yeah, like, aside from that, like, I don't know, it was pretty generous. I kind of enjoyed those 2 swords on left side GT. For a minute I was regretting my decision to not just go full right side, but I would have missed those swords and that would have been kind of annoying.
Yeah. It was a pretty nice seed in that it gave you a lot of good safeties right away. You know, you had your early. It gave you some blue potions right away, so it was generous in that sense as well.
Yeah.
A little bit trolly with the, the route you had to take with that ice. Nobody likes to see Ice Rod and Turtle Rock.
Honestly, I was kind of expecting it. I just, like, the locations I went and checked before I went up to Turtle Rock were really just like, I had accidentally elected to grab the purple chest before I went and did race game. Well, actually, I grabbed the dwarf before I went and did race game, or digging game, sorry. And so that digging game was really annoying the heck out of me. So I went back and checked it before I went up, but...
Yeah, that's not a bad play at all. Because if it had it, would have been a big deal.
The one I was really trying to avoid was Ice Rod Cave.
Gotcha.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Never vanilla.
Yeah, well, I was worried. I wasn't worried about Ice Rod being in there. I was worried about the flute being in
Oh,
there.
gotcha. Right, yeah, because you didn't know yet. That's right.
And there is Ganon down for WeightyWords.
GG.
GG to WeightyWords.
GG.
Official SRL time, 1 hour, 55 minutes, 34 seconds. 18th place. Good stuff.
And so we have one more runner here on the Ganon fight, about to head into phase 3, it looks like.
Nice.
Yep, that is phase 3 for TakeruImpulse. Gonna see if we can't get WeightyWords in here for an interview soon also. And WeightyWords is going to pass on the interview, has to leave. No worries. And with that, we are into phase 4 of Ganon for Takeru.
Nice. I was really shocked to see
that fire
oh, sorry.
bat. Didn't fall, but got trolled just a little bit. And this should be, that's the 4th arrow. That's Ganon down.
GG.
GG to TakeruImpulse.
GG.
I don't know if you guys were watching SRL chat, but like I was pretty shocked to see how close first and second place were in this race.
I believe it was 17 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
very
was
close.
really close.
Yeah, that took me off guard. Like when I was like, "Oh God, what's about to start happening here?"
Yeah, and then we didn't get a third place finisher for a little bit after that, so it was kind of interesting how that spread out. But yeah, TakeruImpulse, 22nd place, official SRL time, 1 hour 57 seconds. Or sorry, 1 hour 57 minutes, 3 seconds. Great job. So, good stuff to our featured runners. All did really well. It was fun to watch.
Yes,
That's all,
it was
yeah.
a great race. For the first half an hour, you guys were doing the same thing all the way.
Yeah, it was trippy.
Yeah.
You guys didn't. I mean, it was just kind of how the seed was. You know, there wasn't too much room for divergence, especially early on. So we were seeing a lot of you guys just doing the exact same thing, basically until Dark World access, or when you guys all basically went to Dark World at the same time. And I think one of you decided Hype Cave first, and the three of you, the other three, did pretty much the same thing, going through Village of Outcasts and Skullwoods.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for making it easy to commentate at first.
No, that's always good.
Yeah.
Easy to commentate, easy to track, easy.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah, it was nice in that sense.
And we will have Takeru in here for an interview very shortly.
Awesome.
Hey, GG.
Thank you.
Yeah, GG.
GG, dude.
GG.
Any
So
initial thoughts on the seed?
Ice Rod and T-Rock was a thing. Flute and Desert After Boots and what was that, Mimic Room? Yeah, those were things.
The Mimic
Yeah,
Cave.
Mimic Room. I thought Mimic Room was a dead location, and here it was.
You of
First time I've
everyone-
seen it in like months having any progression, so that was cool.
You of everyone went into Swamp Palace before Ice. Everybody else went into Ice, and you went into Swamp. Found the cane and the bow before anybody else.
I
So-
was thinking Ice at first, but I'm like, this loop is gotta take me a swamp, go check Hype Cave, then I could go do Ice later. It's required anyway, so Swamp has a lot of stuff in it. I have to go do ice anyway, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't too much of a gamble, and yeah, you routed it really nicely in that sense.
Yeah. I was seriously considering bailing out a swamp before finishing Argus. The only reason I didn't was because I was starting to wonder if it might end up being a crystal. And then I was kicking myself for even considering it soon after.
Yeah, the big thing for me on that one was that it was green pendant, so I was thinking maybe Hahasell had something too.
Yeah.
Not so much from the green pendant, but everything else there was value.
Yeah, wasn't gonna complain about that bow at the end.
Yeah, if you skipped out on Argus, that would have been not so great.
Yeah. Yeah, because with that Swamp Palace play, it pretty much routed itself after that. You know, you go
Oh, yeah.
go to Pod, get your Ether, finish up your Eastern, and then it just kind of pretty linear, honestly, after that.
Mm-hmm.
EmoSaru, you delayed escape a lot later than the other runners, but it didn't seem to affect you too much.
I always do. Like, at a certain point, I don't know, there were 3 more items in there, and it's a pretty fast check, and I prefer to check it when I have the mirror, so I can just clear it all out at once, whether I have the lamp or not. But I definitely delayed it a little bit longer than I'm comfortable with today, but I kept having other stuff that was sort of valid and worthwhile to do. So,
Speaking of, how about that mirror spot?
yeah, yeah, that was neat.
I was so happy when I found that.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that spot quite a bit.
We watched Emo, like, oh, I don't need that sword. Wait, I think I need that sword. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so excited to be going to Tower of Hera that I momentarily forgot about what was going on there.
That makes sense. Easy to forget.
Well, I had like a plan in mind, and then I just, kind of lost track of it. But
The mirror will do that. Like, okay, I'm gonna check this chest and save and quit, and now I'm not gonna save and quit, and gotta go do other stuff.
yep.
It's like, oh hey, that'll be a nice sword upgrade to get in a few minutes. Oh, I mean right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something very satisfying. I was really happy when I got Master, and but I was starting to worry like that I was going to lose out on Tempered, but then that G Tower thing happened, so that was cool. And finishing with Butters and Silvers is always pleasant.
Yes, the Butter Sword and the Riot Shield right there next to each other in the rando room was pretty cool.
Thanks for keeping our stuff in your closet there, Ganon.
Yep. Unfortunately, you all had to sacrifice Bob to get your sword upgrade, but
I was fine with it.
yeah, I would have sacrificed him every time.
Yeah, I've made the mistake of dropping down, I don't know, like skipping that sword would have been aggressive.
Very aggressive.
I would have rather skipped Rando Room entirely on a dare than skipped that sword.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting in that, like, because there were 2 sword upgrades on that left side, if you had done like a right side straight to all the way to Big Key, like, I'm not even sure you save time in the end.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you do. Like,
I think it's close. I don't know.
The entire left side, I think you probably still save time getting those sword upgrades, but it is close. I'm not sure. It's just kind of.
I think it depends how good you are at the one-cycled tempered strats. So, like, I think if you're TGH, you probably actually do save a decent chunk of time.
Yeah.
If you're not consistently one cycling with tempered, I think you're probably right.
Well, does anybody have anything else to say about this siege? Any final words before we start wrapping this thing up?
thanks to you guys for commentating and tracking and restreaming and all of that.
What she said.
Well, thank you guys for running. Without
Yeah.
runners, we got nothing to talk about. So
Yeah, thanks for putting on a good show, guys.
if you guys like what you see, be sure to give these runners a follow. We're also doing 3 daily races every day here on the Speed Gaming channels at 2, 8, and 11 p.m. Eastern. One of them will be open every day. One of them will be Key Sanity, and the third is voted on by supporters of the channel. If you're not in the Discord, you probably should be. So go ahead and hop in there. If you are a subscriber or have donated, I think 250 bits or $2.50 across any one of the Speed Gaming channels, you can get in and vote on what things that these runners will have to do in the third category every day. I have been Clifford tonight. I will let LT Gray have the last word here.
Yeah, just thanks for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed this race here today.